Hey YouTube, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. This is Pens and Paint, and this video is going to be more about paint and art supplies. I recently just went to the public library, and what inspired this video is last weekend I was able to go to a Urban Sketcher event in DC, and it was the first time I've been able to do that since COVID happened. So it's been a while, a good 18 months since the last urban sketching kind of get out there and do a meetup kind of event. I've been looking at a lot of books for inspiration and things to do during COVID to kind of keep me up on my drawing skills, but there's nothing like being around other people who are also sharing your same passion for drawing. And I admit I'm still working on my technique. I'm still working on finding my style. I know my style will automatically come out by the way I actually do anything, but you know, just refining and getting better. And COVID was challenging because I had time and I didn't have time. So I was fortunate enough to still be able to work full time. So I still had all the constraints like I normally did. And getting out though to urban sketch was a little bit harder to do during the times of COVID. I came across this book at a trip to Barnes & Noble back at the end of May. I really wanted to get my hands on it. I went to my public library on Monday of this week, and I was able to get through this at my local library. This book is chock full of tips, tricks, information, to the point where I know I only have this book for probably, sorry, I'm getting out of frame. I've got a lot of stuff on my desk here to the side, on my table here. It's chock full of information, so much so, and it explores a lot of the mediums that I don't really want to get into oil, but I definitely do pencil, charcoal, ink, and pastels. I think I might have to buy this book. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this book, given everything that's going on. I mean, look at this. Everything that's going on, and I have these are mango pastels. I have them, and I haven't really been able to explore them, and acrylic paints, and it's just, I've got color pencils, I've got a lot of art supplies, and I really want to learn how to maximize what I have, because I primarily do a lot of sketching, which is regular old pencil and watercolor. And last year, maybe even the year before, I was at Jerry Artorama's website, and he has Try Before You Buy. And this little sketchbook by Reflections was like $2 in the Try Before You Buy. And I just decided to go ahead and, I'm sorry, it's got bleed through, so this is not the best. I put some Caran d'Ache paints on, but I've been just kind of going through and working on, just a couple of sketches. But the meetup for the DC area, it's DC Draws, is the meetup if you're in the metropolitan DMV area, as we call it here. Brought some things to my attention, and one of them was I had a huge A4 size sketchbook, and at the end of it, it was my very first time going to this meetup. I had not realized how much room it was going to take up on these little tiny picnic tables at where we were meeting up at. And the reason why I might be fading is because I'm looking for my tool to like cut this open. But I bought a couple of art supplies, and I was going to do these in separate videos, but I'm going to just kind of combine them. So this one is, if you're into my fountain pens, stay tuned. I did the Leonardo Monte Zero just recently, and I'm going to probably, as soon as we get out of July, fill that bad boy up and do some ink swatch, do a writing sample of that one. But It's one book July, so I'm trying not to utilize more than one fountain pen. Oh, and this is looking like this would cut me if I don't. Not careful. Hold on a second. Try not to cut myself with sharp items. But I did a small, and I mean a really small purchase through Jackson's, and this is looking dangerous. I know everybody's probably like, "What are you doing?" And it came last week, I think. And I'm going to do this off camera really quick because I got to slice through my address and I don't want you guys to see that. And so what I wanted to do when I went urban sketching, this is packed very well. Their customs label is almost like anti-cut proof. I'm going to cut it. There we go. What I did, and not too long ago of a video, is I showed this Go Draw palette because it was my first time at this urban sketch event, and I put my little swatch on the back of the paints. I was going to buy new paints, but then I was like, you've got so many paints, but I absolutely do love this little collection. So I put this little palette together, and I've got 2 empty wells, and there were a couple of paints that I didn't have, so I was looking for these colors, but I bought just some things from Jackson's. This is not a sponsored video by Jackson's. I bought all this stuff with my own funds, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I bought that I wanted to kind of try on my own. So let's just get everything out, the little popcorn items. One thing about Jackson's that I do like is they have a breadth and depth to their store when it comes to art supplies that you don't see in some art stores. They just have a very huge selection. One of the things that they have is their own brand, but there's these botanical ultra smooth watercolor papers, and these items off of Jackson, let me just get the price. And if you're in the UK or the United States, they definitely have pricing situated for us with VAT. So this is St. Cubert's Mill Botanical Ultra Smooth Glue Watercolor Pad. It's an A5 size. This was $5.55 US. So the great thing is you can try various papers or surfaces from Jackson at a fairly reasonable price. I am a big Sennelier fan, and so I wanted to get a hold of their colors because I can't really take this palette out right now and put, I don't feel, honey-based watercolors in it because right now we're having a heat wave. And it was probably 101 degrees on Sunday when I was out, so I was sweating like a swamp possum, and I just really didn't want my paints to be sweating as well and getting all over me on top of everything else. So I basically asked for their color chart so that I could kind of see the colors that I could get from Sennelier. So I got that one. And I think that one, do they charge for these? 12 cents. You can't beat that. And then Holbein, which is another watercolor brand that I really do like. I wanted to see all of their colors because I have some Holbein paints already, and again, as I get rid of paints and kind of refine my palettes down, I wanted to see again what the colors were available with Holbein, and their watercolor chart again was 12 cents US. Additionally, for acrylic paints that I like to use, I think I'm using right now Liquitex, but I think I might want to try Golden. So I wanted to get a swatch sheet and look at all these colors that I can get from Jackson's. And I can try to find these again in the United States through Blick, but I've never seen Blick offer this color chart ever. And the ones that are no longer maybe being produced or sketched out or not even available through Jackson's. Okay, so once again, the heavy body hand painted color chart was 12 cents, and with tax or VAT it was 13. Then I'm just very curious about using Jackson's own brand of things, so I got a very small set of watercolor papers that they have. I've got their number 703, which is their hot press 4x5. These will be great for really quick studies and watercolor swatches. I got a 5x7 of their cold press. I'm not usually a cold press fan. However, I really do, I can see the value of doing cold press with some of the paints that I use. So I got that one. And then I got the acrylic block in a 5x7. Okay, so the acrylic block 5x7, that's Jackson's brand, was $3.22. This watercolor block at A5 size was $4.28, and this was $3.22. So really, the most expensive part of ordering from Jackson's is the shipping, but you know, I felt that it was really well worth it for me to go ahead and get these materials. And sometimes they outsource through Blick in the U.S. for some things, but most of the time it's, you know, Jackson's own store. Okay, I've got one more item or items that are wrapped up in this. And let's see, this should be paint. I remember. Oh no, I didn't get paint. I needed to get paint.